Hello everyone, my name is Katie. I am the Introverted Reader, and today's video is gonna be a book haul because everybody has been posting videos lately of all the books that they bought during quarantine or in lockdown or whatever, and I have bought some myself and I have them to show you now. That was a sentence. Just by the by, my window is open here because it is just too warm in the UK right now. It's just too warm and we're just not built for this, so the window is open, so if you hear noises, sorry about that. Anyway, I'm just gonna go through all these books quickly. I have two big piles here to show you, so let's just get into it. So the first one I want to show you is Hollow Pike by Juno Dawson. I read this about a month, 2 months ago. It's her debut novel. It's set in this tiny little town in Yorkshire, and it's kind of like a murder mystery thriller type thing. And yeah, read it, really liked it. So there's that. I'm gonna try and not go too deep into synopsises, but anyway, the next book I want to show you is one that I just recently read, and it's Cinderella is Dead, that was a rhyme, by Kaylin Barron. I hope I pronounced that name right. And oh my goodness, you guys, this is one of the books that I'm reading for the Disney Readathon, and this was amazing. I'm going to talk about it more in my wrap up at the end of the month, but just know that I loved it, and if you follow me on Twitter, you would know how much I loved it. Like, I barely got like 100 pages into this and I was like, I'm already in love. So this is just wonderful. I need you all to read it now. Okay, the next one that I have to show you is a graphic novel, and that is Avatar: The Last Airbender: The Promise. This is a bind up of 3 volumes, I believe. See, when I saw this on Amazon, I was like, I need to have this now because I'm obsessed with Avatar, and I want to read all of the comics, and this was fantastic. I read this in one sitting. It's set a year prior after the TV show, so you need to watch the TV show in order to read this, but this was wonderful. And Zuko is the best character in the whole thing, and I will die on this hill. The next book I want to show you is another one that I read for the Disney Readathon, and that was Soul of the Sword by Julie Kugawa. This is the sequel to Shadow of the Fox. Again, I'm not going to go too deep into it. You'll find out more about my wrap up, but yeah, I bought this. One that I read last month was Queen of the Conquered by Kacen Callender. Amazing, wonderful, you need to read it. I'm literally just going to go through all of these and tell you that you need to read them. The next two, are Escaping from Houdini and Capturing the Devil by Kerry Maniscalco. This is books 3 and 4 of the Stalking Jack the Ripper series. I've read this and I loved it. I haven't read this yet, and I'm really excited because I read the synopsis and it low-key gave me American Horror Story Hotel vibes, which I'm here for. So yeah, I'm really excited to finish off that series. The next one I want to show you was a contender for one of my Disney Readathon reads, but Cinderella is Dead got here first. But the one that I would have read had Cinderella not come first was Song of Wraiths and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown. I'm not 100% sure what this is about. Our girl in the cover there looks like a queen. I'm assuming it's all about you. I'm assuming there's magic. I'm assuming it's fantasy. I don't know. She's thick. But yeah, I have no idea really what this is about, but I'm super excited to read it. The next one that I have for you is Found by PC and Kristen Cast. This is a House of Night Otherworld novel, so I can't really give you a synopsis because it's a companion series to the original House of Night. Like, it's set like I think like a year or so after the events of after the original House of Night series finished. This is the final book in the Otherworld series. I thought there was going to be 6, but there's only 4. But yeah, I haven't read it yet, and I'm super excited because I love the House of Night world, and it just means a lot to me, and I'm really excited to finish off the series. The next one I have is The Damned by Renee Ahdieh. This is the sequel to The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. I read The Beautiful a couple months ago and thought it was okay. It didn't have enough of the vampire aspect that we were promised, but I'm hoping that this one will have a little bit more of the vampire aspect to it, so I'm excited to read it. I'm going to try and leave some books linked down below for you guys so you can get more in-depth synopsises. The next one I have is The Queen's Shadow by E.K. Johnson. This is a Star Wars novel. I've never read a Star Wars novel, but I really love the movies, and I'm just like, you know what, Oh my goodness, you've got dust all over you. I heard that this is good. This is about, I think this is like a prequel or something. It's like a story about Padme and her handmaidens. I believe it's a duology. I believe it's this one, and then there's a companion novel to this one, which is this is after she abdicates from being Queen Amidala, and the other one is whenever it's during her reign as queen, I believe. But yeah, I do want to read some more Star Wars novels, so let me know what other ones I need to read prior to this one. The next one I have is Only Mostly Devastated by Sophie Gonzalez. I believe this is like an LGBTQ version of Grace, which is really all I need to know about it. It's about two guys that had a summer romance, and then they get back to school, and what are their names? Will and Ollie. And I believe Ollie comes back to schools. He's like the new kid at the school, and finds that the guy that he spent the summer with is just a complete jerk, and he's just wondering whether or not he can like really be with him anymore. So yeah, I'm excited to read it. Nice LGBTQ contemporary. The next one I have to show you is Emma by Jane Austen. I watched the movie adaptation of this last year and absolutely adored it, and I was just like, you know what, I've never read a Jane Austen book in my life, and I actually asked you guys on Twitter what Jane Austen book I should start with, and all of you nearly said this. So I was just like, you know what, I find this lovely edition on Amazon, and I was just like, you know what, me and Emma, I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna try and read it. The font is a little bit small, but yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try my best. Right. One pile done, moving on to the other pile. This next one is one that I literally just received. It arrived yesterday, and if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen I took a photo of it, and I'm so excited. But it's Boy Queen by George Lester. I follow George Lester on Twitter, and whenever I saw that he was putting a book out and I read the synopsis for it, I was like, I need this in my life, because it's about a boy who becomes a drag queen. And RuPaul's Drag Race is one of my favorite shows of all time, and I realized that it's the tip of the iceberg when it comes to drag, but like, I just want to read more about it and that world. And it's really just about this guy called Robin, and you know, he dons his drag persona and he finds himself, and that's literally all I need to know, because I love drag queens. I just love drag queens. I just love drag in general. It's wonderful. Anyway, the next one is another one that I just received yesterday, and it was Shadow of Kyoshi. Oh, I'm so excited. By FCE. Like, I can't even tell you how excited I am to have this book in my possession, to be physically holding it. Like, I didn't know when this was going to come out because of like dates being pushed back due to COVID and everything. I was just like, I don't know when she's going to arrive, but she's here and she's queer, so I'm so happy. This is actually the conclusion to Kyoshi's journey. We have the rise of Kyoshi up there. I'm so excited to get to this. I'm so excited. The next one is one that I've already read, and it's Felix Ever After by Case and Calendar. I have a full review of this on my channel if you want to go and watch that and get a more detailed synopsis of what it's about. But it's basically, in a nutshell, it's about a trans boy called Felix, and basically this horrible bully starts saying and doing really horrible and transphobic things to him and about him, and he basically takes it upon himself to get revenge. And that's all you need to know. You need to read it. Okay, the next one I have is The Black Flamingo by Dean Ada. Again, another story about a lovely queer boy who becomes a drag queen called The Black Flamingo. But this one is actually written in verse, and I've never read a book in verse before. I might actually get this on audiobook, because I believe Dean Ada is known for his spoken word performances. And so yeah, with this all being all written in verse, I think it would be really cool to just listen to it and really get the feel of it. But I'm super excited, and this cover is gorgeous. The next one I have is Loveless by Alice Oseman. The only books by Alice Oseman that I've read was the Heartstopper graphic novels. I'd only ever read them. I've never read like a full-on novel by her, and this is her latest one to come out. I do want to read more of hers. I do believe that Nick and Charlie, the characters from Heartstopper, are in, I think it's Solitaire, and I think Nick and Charlie have their own little short story as well. So I do want to read those, but I do want to read this one because it's about an individual who is aromantic or asexual, and it's very, very rare that I find representation of asexuality in books, so I'm really excited to read it. Makes us asexual very happy. The next one that I have to show you is With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. A lot of people have been raving about Elizabeth Acevedo and this book, and also The Poet X, which I want to read, but it's not on Audible, and I want to listen to the audiobook because it's all in verse. This one isn't in verse. This is a proper novel. It's written in novel format, but this is about a girl. She's a teenager. She has a young 2-year-old, and she is basically just trying to juggle her life and her child and finish in high school, and it's all about food as well. Like, she loves cooking, and I believe there's recipes and stuff in here that you can try, so I'm really, really excited about it. And again, stunning cover. The next one I have is Meat Market by Juno Dawson, and I believe this is about a model. She doesn't typically look like a lot of the other models, but she gets pulled into the world of modeling and fashion and stuff, and I think it might get a bit dark. But yeah, I'm not fully sure what this will entail, but I am excited to read it, and Juno Dawson is becoming one of my favorite authors. The next one is a book from literally one of my favorite authors of all time, Heartbreak Boys by Simon James Green. Another book that I did not think I would be able to get because it kept getting pushed back, but like, I have it here in my hands. If you don't know about Simon James Green, then you need to, because he wrote my favorite books, Noah Can't Even, Noah Can Never, and Alice in Wonderland, and this is his latest release, and it's beautiful. I haven't even properly looked at the synopsis, but basically it's just about 2 boys that go on a tour around England for the summer and go to caravan parks and stuff, and yeah, one of them just got dumped by his boyfriend, and the other one doesn't think he'll ever find love again, and they end up coming together, and it's just, I'm literally like, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to read this, and I will definitely be reading it, and I'll be doing a review of it very soon once I finished it. Right, the next 2 I want to show you is Wanted and Banished by Betsy Show. This is books 2 and 3 of the Storymaker series. I can't really give synopsis because, you know, spoilers, but basically it's like set in a fairy tale world. So like all the fairy tale worlds like mesh together. So it's like Oz and Camelot and like all the fairy tales mushed in together. And it's about this princess who, you know, is set to get married, but she doesn't want to get married, and there's a whole lot of shenanigans and magic and whimsiness, and that's really all I can say. But like, these covers are absolutely stunning. I love the shoes. Anyway, the next one, next to last, Court of Miracles by Kester Grant. I read this about a month or so ago. I absolutely adored it. It's kind of like, it's loosely based on Les Mis, I would say, loosely based. It's not like the story of that. But the author does use characters from Les Mis, and it's sort of aligned with that because it's all about like the French Revolution and stuff, but it's basically about this underground network of basically the grunges of society, and our main character is Eponine, and she is a high-class thief, and that's all I know about, and that's all I'm going to tell you. So, but yeah, I absolutely adored this book. The next 2 is Fence, Volume 1 and Volume 2 by C.S. Pacat, and I cannot believe it's taken me this long to get my hands on these graphic novels, because C.S. Pacat wrote the Captive Prince trilogy, which is right behind me there, and it's one of my favorite trilogies of all time. And this is about boys at a fencing school, and there's all sorts of like, and it's a gay romance set at a fencing school. What was wrong with me that I didn't pick this up sooner? But yeah, I'm so excited to read these. I might wait and see if I can get the 3rd volume. I don't know when the third volume is out or not. Correct me if it is or not, but I'm so excited to get to these. I'm so excited. Anyway, that is all the books that I bought during the lockdown. I'm sure there's more hanging about that I forgot to show you, but yeah, those are all the books. I'll try and leave links to as many as I can down below. Also down below is my Instagram and my Twitter. Feel free to follow me there. I'm close to 200 followers on Twitter. I'm actually screaming. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.